Thank you for tuning in with Enchantress. That's me. Don't babble. That's me. On this evolutionary, revolutionary, rise and uprise happening at this time. And so here I am. I had a Mars retrograde, self-reflective moment just now. It was quick. It's like the epiphany. Pop, 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 pop. Right? It just comes in as like instant download of computation for my mind, body, heart, and soul elevation, evolution. Compute, compute, data, compute, I compute, I compute. Okay. So I had a Mars retrograde, kind of a moment of growth, acknowledgement of me putting into practice the things that when I align in my truth and then knock knock and ask so that I may align with my now truth that is authentic and real to be for real. Because I'm real, I'm real, I'm real. I want to be a real boy. I keep hearing that with the Pinocchio, right? The lies. The lies, oh my, the lies. The lies of the disguise, of the pretenders of this world that always got something to defend because they like to pretend and get triggered by this and then they say that and then no, I don't want to hear it. And so it's like, well, don't take it personal. I just want to be all alone. Don't take it personal. It's just for fun. Right. Although these messages are timeless, okay? And if this is your first time here, I know I can be a lot of weird. And I don't know which way to look, my dears, because I'm doing something new with the camera. I feel like I should be looking this way. Like, it's like that resistance of having to put something new that is different than what we are accustomed to doing or viewing. You know, it's changing the antenna that you previously used naturally because it wasn't anything to question. When you think about that kind of reflection of perception, who thinks to question their perception? Ah, but you got to go introspection. Yeah, I be deeps, yo. Deeps, deeps like a creeps. And so I had a Mars retrograde kind of moment, right? Where I was taking mighty long to hit the record button like this time last year, and the year before, and the year before. And Spirit was knocking on my door. I was like, hey, you need to record some more. And I would just be like, I'm a writer. I got enough personality to entertain myself. So I'm good. Right? And the resistance before hitting record, right? Time would be in my mind. I hear wasted, but nothing is wasted when you learn, when you grow. No matter how long it takes for you to get to a certain place, never be ashamed or disgraced about how long you think something took of you, that you feel shameful too of not getting somewhere sooner. What? And you can't go off the clocks of, many things are being addressed here. Make sure you watch my other videos, dear. And even if you find it hard to listen through fully to the babbles too, because it goes there, it's like coded information, right? And it's going against your currency vibration, that it's guiding you to go on or towards in your vibration, natural state of place to be. And so it depends on your leveling of evolutionizing and just how you navigate. And each of us too, has nothing to do with compassion in terms of attempting to actually not just be heard, because that's our suppression, that's our oppression, that's our conditioning that has us feeling like we are not seen, heard, received, accepted. We go undetected, and no matter how much attention we might receive, it does not matter. I feel invisible. Do you not hear me? I don't even feel me. But I have this image to uphold, this standard to deliver that goes against my entire circuitry. But I don't relate it to these kind of things because there's something wrong with me. That is my condition. What? To automatically assume that when I go against the groove, oddity, you need a filter because you got a blemish over there. And look at you, you missed a shave over there. And look at your belly popping out over there. And stand up straight over there. Did you comb your hair? Where's your time? Fix yourself. Sit up straight. Dot your eyes. Cross your T's. Don't speak unless you're spoken to. Okay. What happened to you and who hurt you, boo? Let's get through. What are we gonna keep doing? Cycling the same bullshit over and over because someone refused to go through their feelings? Yeah, feelings. I love the line my daughter uses when she speaks in her spites. And it's not nice, but it's a trigger, all right? So think about, too, the position you play in many of the people's lives that you are engaged in. And what purpose did you truly serve beyond the mask of illusion that you escaped from by not holding yourself responsible or accountable or even present to the actions you have chosen to do once upon a time ago too. Or just think about perception too, what I was saying about how most people don't even think to question their perception because they think it's theirs. Where do you think the saying, we are a product of our environment, comes from? And what makes you think that you ever had a choice upon exiting the womb? And if you don't think that this has any relevance, revelation to you, ask yourself, let's go to school. How do you know the things that you know, the things that you think you know about this world and this realm and everything that you think you understand, overstand? Okay, my friend, who gave you all this information? And so, is it safe to assume that possibly, because you didn't think about this loophole of perception, that maybe up until this date of when you realize, oh shoot, this is deep, and okay, now I have to question me and how I see, is this me, kind of thing, right? Right. So think about the weight that can be lifted, made light to you right now when you think about all the things you hold on to tight. Let us recalibrate so we can celebrate and elevate our positioning. Because knowledge is power. It's power when you activate it. Right. Hello. Gonna light some sage in this place. Made me think of my lovely sister soul sister. We are rising at Tempering. Okay. I love him. Listen, this is the sage. It smells deliciously. Lighting some sage. Enter this space. It's a challenging space because so much feels at stake. There's so much weight. That's why I'm making these pleasures to lighten the load. Truth be told, we're lightening the load. And the more that we allow for the uncomfortable to be, so you can process it naturally instead of denying its feed or existence, right? So, trust me, right? So Like, Mars retrograde. No, I'm not blaming. Just trying to get back into my flow. There's just so much information I get that it can be very overwhelming to the way that we process downloads, these uploads. I used to get wiped out sometimes and couldn't even do anything when I would receive certain kind of like downloads because I was just like, oh my toes. And then, you know, people looking at you from the mundane world and like, are you okay? You want to try? This is your addiction? What's going on here? Are you having a midlife crisis? Is everything alright? Walk by faith, not by numbers. Okay. Walk by faith, not by numbers. Anyway, okay. So, step back into this placement of why I am recording right now. Because I am doing something different for me in regards to keeping my own words to myself and honoring my own system that I'm creating as I am learning it too. It's the beauty of unlearning or just being conscious and intelligent. Your ability to compute and understand what it is that I say. Instead of saying, ha ha ha, ha slow down and everything away, but it doesn't that what you're saying. I don't have time for people like that. I realize I'm highly irritable. I am fire burning, like down. I will not dumb down my conversation in any shape or form for anyone in terms of, and then see, like dumb down, what I mean is just like tone it down to, or not speak because others are either uncomfortable with my speech or the topic or discussion or whatever the case may be, to try and attempt to like silence me. And it's not even in rage or outrage or that I even get all misaligned, because I'm way, way like past in terms of violence in my life, because that is one of the things that I had to get through. Well, the abuse and the violence I was born into, this leveling of transmute or neglect, an intensity of just chaos, right? And getting through these different energies, portals of dominance that was and still is in that world, dominant to somehow always be outside the box, like, what the fuck is this? Skirt. Right? And just still, like, yeah, being a warrior. finessing our skills. You're a warrior too. For there's many things that you have been through. And there are certain things now, because, these messages are timeless. So whenever you're here, it's because it is what it is. There's a cycle in your life that right now is playing out, leaving. Something new is to be born. Something new is being created. And there's still debris from another lifetime, it seems. But that's just the reality of certain kind of things. We're all sinners. Fuck yeah. We've done a lot of shameful things. And there'll be people from that time frame that want to hold that into memory lane and condemn me for that time. Sure, form a line. But it ain't my line. You misalign. There's been things that I've had to truly hold myself accountable for. I'm not proud. I'm not ashamed anymore either. Although I know that feeling. Because it's you that you don't want to see. You don't want no part of. That wasn't me. The place of, don't take me there. But what are we cycling in the new? Is this me? Is this true? What are we to do? So here's this lava. So I got two different decks, right? One of them is the ArcheType cards, right? And I like these because they're like the ancient universal patterns of like behavior that has been instilled into all of us over generations of time, the cycling of time, time is man-made in concept, right? To try to understand something and give something a direction, I guess, because we lack direction. So we look for it, then we create it, and then we give it law and meaning and facts and acts and all these kind of things. And it's just like, all these things, right? That when you really think about it, strip it down to its core in this 3D plane, never mind spiritual parts that we have to address in ourselves. One day, one space and time, whenever that's going to be for you, that'll be in your own time, Let's just talk in this 3D state of being. Did we ever really have a moment to collect ourselves, to be ourselves, and get to know ourselves without being told who we are, what we are, where we are, and what this is? Okay, okay, okay. So is it safe to say on an evolutionary like scale that hey, let me take a step back and really, really, really like reflect, introspect, get into my mode of detach and see where I'm at, right? For those of you that are here for every good resonating reason why, then you're in that kind of a line. The other ones that come in for other reasons, you know, whatever. Beggar. Confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival. Awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. The shadow attribute. Dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. Beggar. Right. So, you know, anyways. So I'm gonna read this too. I pulled these archetypes because we're going through a transitionary time that's transforming at this time, right? In the other videos that I would do, I don't know which ones I just record, right? I was talking about this transition period, right? I follow astrology and I reference it and all that kind of stuff, but I would not call myself an astrologist because I am not a scholar in this department. And you know, whatever it is, most of the time I rely on my intuition. And then when I check in to database system of information knowledge from my system that I have already downloaded, uploaded, inputted, understood, whatever. Now it makes contact with the world, right? And oh, and I learned too, you know, right? So, but we don't need those things. But it's nice to check in and then find other information-based systems that can help in your own development. You know, that's evolution. So I got the literary witch and archetype. So it's like the expose. Spirit is calling us out in every witchy way that bathes us constantly in truth, for we are protected, led by the divine. No man need stand for me. When creators, I am in me, co-creating, straight dialing up aligned communication with source. And so here we are, because we have a lot of conditioning, we have a lot of unlearning, learning kind of things to do. That's why it's excellent to find your soul tribe. And there'll be plenty that you resonate with and connect with for various reasons, because each one will feed a certain kind of thing or theme or importance to you of wherever it is that you are on your journey at that time. And so you elevate with that kind of tribe in mind to find like minds, and together we rise, you know? Right. And I'm hearing background. I'm not even reading the book yet, but like, you know, I just hear like beggars, like the same way beggars on the street asking for change, for money, for that hit, for that hit, for that hit. How often do we do that? Or when did that beggar even show itself in your world? When was the first experience of that cry to be received or to be given something? And what seed did that breed? And what type of leveling of experiences did that create for you in your life in regards to moving you somewhere in the process? Feeling like a beggar, black, begging someone for attention, begging someone to see you, begging others to feed you, cheer you, love you, spend time with you, care for you, communicate, share, cherish. Oof, oof. And then if you're not the beggar, you're still the needy. And if you're not the needy, then you're the greedy. And if you're not the greedy, then you're depleted. And then right next to beggar is the blank cards. There's not many blank cards in this deck. And I like the blank cards because it's telling you to create the light creation that is yours, that's presenting itself to you, along with its shadow. And see it for what it is. In both its light and shadow forms. What is there to be learned for you, from you, through all of it? To emotionally detach from the experience, to see something in all of its aspects, its whole, and then to understand by seeing the whole where you came into the equation, and allow this acknowledgement to take place of whatever role you have had and played in everything. Then we got the literary witches, which I like because the concept is cool. It's a celebration of magical woman writers. You're here, you're creative. I'm more than just a writer too. I'm an expressionist, an evolutionist, an entertainer. I'm a comedian. Okay. I'm a mom. I'm a lover. I'm a friend. I'm a mystic. I'm simplistic. I'm fantastic. Poetess. Empress. Goddess. God. Masculine. Feminine. No. Anyway. Bitch. 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 What? Okay. Right. So the person that created this, we imagine the visionary women writers as witches, right? And it's an invitation to access and nourish your own inner witch, that wise being who knows exactly what is going on and what to do. So anyways, yeah. So I pulled these two different, whatever they called, out. Because I was only holding the literary witches one because they've been talking to me for a few days already. And I just, been putting it off. And then I thought I was just doing this. And then all of a sudden this. And I'm just like, all right, okay, okay, right. So what's this about? During this now time. And be clear, right, about the things that are happening at this time so that we can move in full alignment and be on top of our game, getting out of our own way. Seeing many different pieces that help us piece together the whole. May we align, rise in our truth, aligning with wisdom, knowing that we are led by the divine, that is I, who rises with faith and know that all that is good and great and love and light and bright and wholeness and truth, divinely protected too, to be able to see the whole and give it no power unless I desire to give it power. That's how people create drama, to pull you in. So track, and check. Track and check your drama, okay? Track and check your drama and where it comes from. And if you are associated and a part of every single one that you track and check, then you need to really put yourself on check and have a serious reality check of accountability and responsibility for your participation and probably being the creation. That might not apply to everybody, okay? But still, we all have had our parts in self-sabotaging and just mischievous things that might have not been the wisest of choices to make. But we have all partaked in any way. It doesn't matter the measure of what it was, we still the same energy signature. Okay. But when you know better now, you don't do better, it's because you choose not to do better. And own that shit too. And be real about that too. That's the difference you can cycle out. If you still want to do what you do when you do, and this time you want to be like, all right, but I don't want to be in hiding. I accept myself. I'm the Oscar. I'm the jerk, I'm the player, I'm the adulterer, I'm the abuser, I'm the tyrant. Own it. Be real about it. Right? Why? Fear. Even though it can present itself like a monster. And the devil looked me in the eyes, trying to make me cry, make me fearful for my life. He did next to tie me up, you see. Oh, he's crazy. Indeed. Psycho was he. Saw the doubt in his face. A space very hard to erase. Catastrophic in every kind of way. What can I say? I rise anyway. Victim, I do not play. I lesson learned hard. I got away, but I had to stand up for myself. I was not the same person that I thought myself to be. To allow for such a tragedy to bestow unto me. No, there won't be no woe to me. Years later, she had to remind compassion and say for herself too. These are the things that we do. It's not easy. Do you know what must be done? To flow, fearlessly revealing emotion, hoping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. In the class clown for a very long time to deflect. Sure, I've had many a mask in my life. Believe me when I say it wasn't always right, even though I was. Using humor to wound rather than liberate, or denial of your own emotional truth. Many that are gonna come here, this collective that finds this. You're having trouble saying how you really feel. And here it took so long. And so now you feel foolish. Maybe, and it can be anything. Like when I think of person, place, or thing, like it can be like even pursuing a dream, career, let's say. Now, after all this other time, maybe you're in your like And I don't want to give everything a number, but let's say in your 40s, right? Or 30s. But for 20 years you've been doing this, and you never said anything about this. And so now you want to pursue this, but you got to be logical about this, and practical about this, and you got to go about this in this kind of way. And there's a lot of standards that are layered into the realms of existence that you have to operate in. Like, and that's like leaving the matrix of something, right? It's like, because you see everything has changed, but yet everything is the same. It's like when I had to go back to a 9 to 5, everything changed. It was still the same. And I had to learn that in a new light. What was my role in this now? Was this my forever now? Would I do 9 to 5 now? How? What is my truth? What is my role? What is my goal? Right? And conditioning truly energizes into our atmosphere resistance to change. It's why people have wars. So the light and shadow attributes are being made clear to us at this time. So we activate further. This I saw like a few times. Hedonist inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. Shadow attributes pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. Learning to feed you, conditioning too, has us overly externalizing everything, having something external to fulfill something we seek, need, or perceive that we think we need or want. And that's an uncontrollable, insatiable kind of like energy vortex that is already here when you exit the womb, my dears. And so balancing that excess and also creeping in to understand why such excess for you with feelings. Feeling. Nothing more feeling. I want to do the literary with you. Okay? So which has some insights in for us using a teacup in the lantern unseen. What literary witch is going to speak to the we? Emily Dickinson, The Soul. Emily Dickinson, what have you here to say? Is that a cat that she's holding? She's mystical in every kind of way. Mm. Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson. The soul, spiritual life, the inner world, the unknown. Emily Dickinson, 1830 to 1886, spent her whole life in Amherst, Massachusetts. Her mother's buried in Massachusetts. Refusing conventional religion in her prominent family's exhausting social schedule, she instead cultivated a unique spiritual and social life. She wrote long letters to friends, worked in the garden, and created strikingly original poetry about God, death, pain, and love. When Dickinson died, even those closest to her were shocked to find her life's work of 1,800 poems neatly folded in a drawer. The soul is deceiving. Finding your expression. Finding your expression. And it's not even finding your expression because your expression is your expression. It's there. Like, who can take that from you? You're letting it out. Agatha Christie. Tricky. Buddy. Agatha Christie. Agatha, why you have to tell me? Agatha Christie. Suspicion, deception, the missing piece. Agatha Christie, 1890 to 1976, wrote nearly 70 detective novels, making her the most popular novelist in all of history. Taking place in a British aristocratic world filled with luxury trains, handsome estates, and butlers, her books keep the reader guessing about the truth behind their murders until the shocking twists are revealed. I feel like this ties into my last couple of videos that will be aired before this one is aired. Oops. Um, which is the full moon ones. Is this me videos? Um, like like the level up that's spirit's calling us all out on. It's going to be different for each of us, right? Right, it's for me. But it's subtle, but you know it. And spirit's even calling you out on that note. It's like the lack thereof of discipline. It's like someone being lazy, the equivalent to lazy, not wanting to put the work in extra because it requires something different from you, which goes back to those videos too. And it's like, what different What's the different that you're doing today? Like, what are you going to do different today? What is the different that you're putting in to your own world to create and manifest in the way that is for you now? As you unlearn the things that were part of your conditioning and seeing where you are in your understanding with it, is it something that resonates with you? And if not, what then is your truth in that department, if you still need to know it? You know? Like, our need to control outcome comes from a distorted lens of fear-based conditioning. So our internal justifications of reasons that we give to ourselves in our stubbornness, because you hold on to this because this is your truth, because that's the rebel in you to stand in your truth. That thing, Spirit's even calling you out on, in terms of knowing that that's bullshit. And you know it. And it comes from fear. The reason why you don't put the extra of whatever it is because the fear rules your action. And your conditioning fuels the lack of steps taken because it never took steps to begin with. So it's easiest to not do nothing. So it's like hop out to your own development and evolution, or owning or stepping up or standing up for yourself. Because you'd rather control the outcome to a more comfortable conditioning that you maybe grown accustomed to, that you accept because it's the only thing you know. And because that's your comfortable space, that's the best way to say it. Doesn't make it right or wrong or whatever, but it's misaligned with your truth, right? Your justice. The distortions of perceptions can create tsunami-like effects for you when you swim in the sea of denial and then pretend later on when shit went down, like you didn't see and now you see. And, I'm sorry. You already know. So that's even a double-faced lie. To even see an outcome like this too, because the outcome that you're banking on or hoping for is the time you think you have to wait something out and tend to it later. All stemming from your need for control in alchemy. Meanwhile, it's like the detective stories, leaving the reader guessing up until the last page. That's part of your evolution, to live its experience. You're not supposed to know everything, even if you see. The sight that you see, you're supposed to use it for evolutionary, holistic kind of things. In the meantime, you are to live your experience out genuinely, not strategically, mythology. I can't say the word. Mythological. Where am I? Anyways, methodical. Maybe that's it, right? Like, and even when I speak of writing your world into existence and creating it or scripting and things like that, this is not what I'm talking about. Because, yeah, you want to do those things. Because you're empowering yourself to align with your truth that resonates with you or what it is that you're co-creating too. But you're also letting go of the reins of the need for the control of the exact how, where, when all this is to be obtained. But you're putting in your part in your co-create. Okay, so don't get it twisted. This is the ability to see beyond, because you can see all sides of the coin, right? And to see how it can play out. But because you're operating from a pussy stance, right? Because you don't want to deal with the feelings that this stirs or brings, and that kind of leveling of emotion and drama and just, presence that you would have to meet and to deal with whatever it is, right? You don't notice what reference I was using. Prior to hitting pause there for a second, but I get the gist of where I was going, so I'm gonna go with that, which is just pretty much saying, like, with the mystery and our own experiences in this land, we have to experience them, authentically, real, without any interference from other attachments that do not need to be ours unless we want them to be. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much happening, right? And there's a level of, like I said, like there's some that come that, like children, putting together your creation. You're the magician, you're the alchemist, you're the co-creator, right? You are serving a purpose, a function. You have a role, right? Is this what you've been told? What is it then? And relearning your system off of the system that was given to you. And then learning the system by understanding it, because it has a role, it has a function, it has a purpose, it has a meaning, it has a label, it has an identification tag, it has a number, it has a color, it has all this explained to you. That's how you could know the difference between new and recycled unless you're the originator of the creation of it, which is the challenging part. Going through it without the knowing, which is a hard part for a controlling person, avatar, to let go of and going back to the fear, to know that it's activated there due to not any other reason but that of fear. The fear also given to you by who? Right? So it's like making your own ingredients and adding other ingredients that aren't here after relearning what those ingredients are, and if it's something that you want to use, right? Something like that. Right? Creativity, the rich box, surprising yourself. Surprising yourself, right? Surprising yourself. Fertility here. That doesn't just have to be baby making. Praying mantis. Praying, getting into prayer. I had a struggle a few years back with the word prayer when I started doing the etymology of all words and the purpose, the origin of words created, and how the energy signature that was the originator is still active and activating every time the word was said, even if it's understood to be something different or spelled differently now, like pray and pray, like when you pray for someone, right? Or you pray on someone, P-R-A-Y, P-R-A-Y, that kind of stuff, yeah, right? A really active crown. Having to get through because a lot of people don't want to deal with the uncomfortable nature of not knowing how this exposure of their own vulnerability and the experience that is stirring up their emotions that are now having to be experienced raw, right? Who wants to do that? Well, you could get hurt in the process because that has been many of the stories. So that also has been drilled into us since out of the womb. Many people in their view on marriage and relationships, whatever, come from their upbringing, whatever that upbringing was, and however the child interpreted the view. Because most likely the parents did not talk to be child about any of these kind of things except ruling with an iron fist about how things had to be done and what was expected, right? With manipulation and fun, brain mantis. Anyways, right, so like, so here we are, exposing our sight to ourselves in person, the intellect. Intellectual growth, delights of the mind, plagues of the mind. A prolific writer of poems, essays, and various literary hybrids. Hybrids, I was talking about the hybrids. Works with themes of lost family members, love and lust, religion, and the intellectual tradition. The combination of this MacArthur Fellowship recipient austerity, startling insights, and relentless questioning is as awe-inspiring and explosive as the volcano she has been known to paint. Person is also a scholar of ancient Greek and Latin texts and a champion of fellow witches, having translated Sappho and written about Emily Bronte and Virginia Woolf. Me like, me gusta, right? So here we are. If you are here, and you listen to me too. If you can get through the babbles too, that means you're an intellect. Whatever. It's yours. Right? The things that we do. An acceptance of the who. The how many times we have despised ourselves in our own lives because we don't fit this perfect paradigm of a lie, of a distorted illusion, of a pollution, of a constitution that has been forced down our throats, right? And so here we are. It's childbirth, man. So, let us make lighter our challenges. Yes. Let us make lighter our loads. Yes. Let us make lighter our truths. Yes. Let us make lighter our love. Yes. Let us make lighter our need for forgiveness. Yes. Let us make lighter our dark. Yes. Let us make lighter our shadows. Yes. Let us make lighter our love. Describe. Are you a writer? Get into that kind of a life. And even if you're not a writer in this life, or you don't think yourself to be one, because It's never been something you've done because you've always been elsewhere doing other things. Well, have you ever tried? Did you ever think that maybe the conditioning part of your life may have not illuminated that other door? But because you hear stories of writers always writing from the start, that doesn't mean that you don't evolve and you find new things that come upon your heart. And then you realize, wow, something will click. You're gonna be like, I need this. I need this. I need this. I need this. Warrior again. This needs to be infused, made to be brought up and clear. Courage, release, unleash, revealed, unveiled, discovered, recovered, rescued. You're a rescuer. Do you have to be the hero? Do you need to be the one to save? Without saving yourself. Provide strength and support to others in crisis. Acts out of love with no expectation of reward. Modern. I know that very well. I used to think that because I didn't do good things like, let's say, steal, because of lack, poverty, mindsets, and I believed in karma and how shameful I should feel because all things kept in the dark. You feel a type of way. And so anything bad that happened to me on the 3D plane, I excused and said, well, it's because of this. It's because of that. Oh, I deserve that. Well, I deserve this because of that. That's karma, right? What kind of fucked up distortion is that, right? Of a view to have, even towards your own freaking self, in regards to anything. You deserve that. Fuck out of here with that bullshit, right? And then how often not that you come to the aid of others in every kind of way, but then when it's you, you just feel like, who's here in this room? Spirit's calling that out too. How ungrateful can we possibly be when we have had many sittings of rescuing or being rescued or someone coming to our aid in every kind of way, in some kind of powerful way in our life, but we want to hold on to the pain of the times when someone cannot come through for us in our lives. Ooh, my ear is ringing. I'm really high. Well, how ungrateful do we act? Do we forget? It does not take away the pain. Stop it now. Assumes that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued one needy. enabling, being everything that someone needs you to be, no matter how much they don't. No matter how often they do not reciprocate the amount of energy in any shape or form, unless they pay you money for your time. Like a job can rob you of your energy blind and drain you, and then you feel like because your salary is great, that's okay. Well, it's because, they pay me this. And so you tolerate certain kind of things and just get drained of your, everything, your life source, right? Or you have that other vampiric kind of energy of person that takes, and gives bare minimum and just knows how to talk, knows how to walk, knows how to get you thinking somewhere different. Controller. Strategist, whatever. Say it however you want to say it. Person that knows exactly what they're doing and has you read inside and out in terms of psychological warfare. But because you operate from you don't do that kind of shit or think that kind of way and manipulate any kind of way, gullible in every kind of way, and become prey, P-R-E-Y, to those that manipulate, right? On purpose. And then you find a way to still show compassion and have compassion and forgiveness for those kind of folk who like to cope. It's like it's a joke. They're plotting. Their sense of entitlement. And here you are crucifying yourself because you stole clothes from a department store. You stole money from here. You had sex with this person over here. Oh, you have an addiction over here. You do drugs over here. You drink over here. You gossip over here. And so you crucify yourself. Whether you share this crucifixion or not, as within exudes on out, shows up in some freaking kind of way. No more. No more. No more. Student. Humility and devotion to knowledge. Openness to lifelong learning. Yes. Arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge. Unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. Right? These are the shadow attributes of knowledge and being a student of life. Who you are. Crossroads, right? Crossroads of a place that spirit's like, you need to take action in whichever way, shape, or form that you need to do, whatever it's going to apply for you. Like, not sugarcoating any of that kind of shit, too. It's just like, you need to do what you need to do. And that's it. Spirit knows and it's calling you out that you know what's up, you need to do, and, you know, and it's not even a threat or anything like that. Like, it's just okay, okay. Don't play. That's all I gotta say, because I've learned the motherfucking hard way. I listen. Now. Oh, I obey. Okay. It's bad. It's a good girl. I cooperate and listen. A good girl. Nice. And so, you know, that's what's happening here. There's remember, this is not gonna apply to all. You know, just take what resonates, because there's still lessons in it for us all, even though I might go in on another kind of development. Because remember, I always speak for like the hybrids too, because they find me here. Right? And so they're gonna want things made clear, and something's gonna resonate with them here. And I'm like, she's here. Right? Seer. Clear. Hybrid. Hatch. That's what I call them. I say hi. From Emily. She loves probably something. She's crazy for it. But yeah, so and those are going to receive this message in a different way than those that are resonating with the I still part, you know? I hope this lightens your mood in whichever way, shape, or form that it needed to be lighted, ignited. Show yourself some more love. Go to your mirror, stand before it, and say, I love you. Yes, you. Yes, you. Oh, you sexy you. I love you. Oh, you're so cute. Yes. 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 It sounds silly. It sounds silly. Let it sound silly. But go do it. Please, go do it. You don't have to tell nobody but tell me. You don't have to tell nobody but tell me. You can even email it to me. I am interested into knowing how you feel after you do that shit. Lighten up. Okay? That's what's up. Okay? Do it. Go on for the mirror. I would love you. I love you. Hey, don't go like a drunk in the mirror, okay? Okay, but you can. If you want to be silly, because silly humor, you know, moves my environment too. The things that we do. Hey, the things that we do. It's like, that was weird. Okay, wait. Go to the mirror. Say, I love you. I order me a cup of you. I order you a cup of me. And I love you. You know what I mean? Killing you? Yeah. If not you, then who? And if not now, then when? I love you. I love you. I love you. I love me. 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 Even Barney was begging. I love you. I love you. I love you. Once you say you love me too, I thought we was a big happy family. Why do I need to say it? Insecure? Did you do something that will make me not supposed to love you? Right. How we're conditioned in this life. Oh wow. Okay. Anywho, so the things that we do, I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you too, from this, wonderful things for you to add and further grow on your own evolutionary journey. As a whole being, you are everything. So start meeting and greeting the parts of yourself, especially the new. What truth is yours? What light and shadow creation are you making to highlight in your own path about the wisdom that you are receiving on this current now journey at this time that propels you and moves you forward in full alignment so that you may live as you desire and deserve. Until we speak again, my friends, love and alive to you. Express yourself free. You are protected. Know this. For the trumpet blows this. Grow this. You are explosive. They know this. Let their attitudes still be atrocious. You are beautiful. So let yourself loose. I would love your support here on my channel. I'm not sure which channel you're watching. Make sure you are subscribed to both so that way you don't miss anything because one of them is being phased out. You see? You know what I mean? And all the information that you need to dance with me will be in the description box below. So now you know. Love you, mind, body, heart, and soul. So let's see you again. Love and love.